Okay, great job. Thanks, Kate. We have our final pitch of the day. Ian Kane and Daniel Gouldman from Unbanked. Daniel Gouldman and Ian Kane are the co-founders and co-CEOs of blockchain technology company Unbanked. Unbanked enables the issuance of crypto debit cards for residents of more than 75 countries. Please welcome Ian and Daniel.
Kevin, thanks for having us here today.
No problem.
Daniel, you're on mute.
I'm sorry. So hi Kevin. So Unbanked, we've been around for 5 years, and our primary function is taking cryptocurrency, the DeFi ecosystem, and these digital assets, and making those work in the real world, where you can spend them on a debit card, you can use them with bank accounts. The world's most traded cryptocurrency is actually the digital dollar, and so where people think of it as more speculative in nature, and by 2030, there's projected to be 1 billion people that will hold digital assets. And the reason that's so important is people will be able to be their own bank. Starting with who we are. So we're based primarily out of the Southeast. We're an American company. We've been around for 5 years, 35 employees, and everyone on our management team that you see here, myself and my co-founder, we've been with the company since the start. We haven't had any changes with our primary management, and that has allowed us to continue down the path that we've started with. And this is who we work with. By the end of the year, we'll be issuing crypto-friendly debit and credit cards in 75 countries, covering 3.1 billion people, working with some of the biggest brands in the non-crypto ecosystem, from Nexo, Litecoin, Stormex, Stacks. We have over 20 white label partners. We were very honored to work with Visa, American Express, MasterCard as program managers, and we have a lot of really amazing things coming live with these best-in-class companies. Primarily, our products are, what we do: bank accounts in over 200 plus countries today, where you can buy and sell crypto. Debit cards, like I said, by the end of the year, 75 countries, covering which I'll show you a map, covering many parts of geographies of the world. You're earning higher rewards than you would traditionally get with the traditional debit card. And buy, sell, and sending cryptocurrency, and working with many different types of cryptocurrencies, because not all cryptos are monolithic. It could be a stable coin, which is the digital dollar, or it could be Bitcoin or Ethereum or some other asset. Now, my favorite slide is really kind of giving you conceptually understanding where we play. This is where we work. Crypto is a global, it's a global audience. It's no longer the days where you'd have the banking industry is changing, and how people operate and interact with our financial services is changing significantly. They're demanding more real-time settlement, as opposed to having to send money on a Friday night and the money doesn't arrive to your family member until maybe Tuesday. Or across the world, you have to spend a lot of money just to send funds and pay a lot of high fees. So by the end of this year, as I said, we're already live in the US, we're live in Europe, and in 27 countries, 95% of the world's Europe population, including the United Kingdom. And then we're rolling out Latin America, most of Latin America. And as you can see, India, UAE, Nigeria, and we're working with some companies to issue in other parts of Africa. We're raising $2 million on a safe agreement with 20% discount. We've seen a steady progression in our revenues. These are audited GAAP financials. Last year, we did 19.9 million. As a fintech, our primary focus is in reinvesting into the business. We were profitable last year. And up until this year, we only raised 1.4 million since inception. And that's Unbanked.
Okay, thank you. What happens if the Stablecoin Transparency Act gets approved, and let's just speculate that USDC becomes regulated? Isn't that a competing product to you? Why would they need your platform just to allow payments between? Because primarily, I get the store of value on the crypto, but the real convenience you're providing is payment or transfer, which stablecoins would do on their own if they were regulated. Why would you matter at that point?
Well, it depends on what kind of stablecoin we're talking about. Because, for example, USDC, which is on multiple blockchains, but if it's on an Ethereum blockchain, it's more expensive to do transaction than it would just swiping a card. USDC doesn't provide rewards capabilities, which is something that we layer into and the card programs layer into. There's a reason that Visa, MasterCard, and American Express are embracing it. It's not because it's going to kill their business. They're not dumb. And so we are working with some of the biggest companies in the world, obviously. The other thing is, as it's regulated, that's actually a good thing. In order for us to operate in the markets we operate in, we're operating with the highest level of standards around BSA, AML, or whatever the regulatory regimes are, because we're dealing with federally regulated entities, banks, EMIs out of Europe, MSBs in Latin America, et cetera.
Kevin, the other thing you got to think about too is when you actually deal with stablecoins, it's confusing and scary for a lot of people. They got to manage their public keys, their private keys. If they send money to the wrong address, it's gone forever. People already know and understand how bank accounts work and debit cards. And it's that familiarity paired with the efficiency of the blockchain ecosystem that makes what we're doing so valuable. And as Daniel said, it's the fact that we have this global scale and we can onboard residents in a compliant way into these card products in 75 countries. And that's something that nobody's able to do today.
So if I'm MasterCard, I have a relationship with MasterCard. I'm an investor in a card that does called Built, which provides renters in America to pay their rent. And if I integrate with you, what are the benefits? Now I can use my card and have a wallet with crypto in it, a centralized wallet where I get a statement. Is that what happens?
That's exactly right. You can basically use the value of your cryptocurrency, whether it's stablecoin or Bitcoin or whatever, send it from a self-custody wallet to a custodial wallet within seconds, and then be spending. You can also send it to anybody else who has a card, right? As long as you know their address. It's 24/7. So you don't have to worry about only being able to send somebody funds during the banking hours or not on weekends, which is a real pain point. I don't know if you recall too.
Are you an app where you're paying Apple a third, or you're out there decentralized?
No, we're a centralized entity. We're completely regulated. As Daniel said, we've got BSA, AML policies, an entire KYC process. What we do is we are the technology provider and the program manager. So we actually work hand in hand with the card networks, with sponsor banks all around the world. And we give the companies that we partner with, like the Litecoin Foundation, like Nexo, the ability to not only run the technology, but also the customer service, the compliance, which is a really big deal that people don't put a lot of thought into, and just general things like, card fulfillment and Perso, stuff like that. And we package that all together so that the Litecoin Foundation can offer these same services, or Nexo, or whatever traditional company we want to partner with. Like I said, like a ClockPin.
How many basis points? If I send somebody 100 USDC on your platform, how many basis points do you keep?
Completely customizable. We customize it based upon the program. On things like stablecoins, it's very hard to make a spread. So it's very few bips, right? Maybe 20%. On things like digital currency, where there's more volatility and there's more, you can take a larger spread, is probably the right way to say it. And that can be anywhere from 2 to 3%.
And I'll add in here,
depending upon the liquidity depth.
So it's sort of 1 to 3% unless a stablecoin is 20 bips?
Everything can be customized. We don't have a one-size-fits-all model. So depending upon the B2B companies that we partner with, we can customize that program. In some cases, they may say, you know what, we don't want to charge anything. We would rather make our money on interchange, which is the fee that the merchant pays the card networks, in which we get a cut. It could be on buying crypto. It could be on the crypto-to-crypto transactions, when somebody deposits, let's say, Bitcoin, and it gets converted to stablecoins.
Your customer acquisition is on the back of the card you're partnering with, right? They offer the service to their base. So
that's correct. The CAC there is $0. So we provide all the technology, the program management. They go out and they market on behalf of it, and we share the revenue with the consumer.
And typically, is a rev share 50-50, regardless of how many bips you charge?
I would say, case by case. We also have monthly licensing fees. So it's a combination of recurring and then reoccurring revenue, where we have kind of a flat baseline that we get paid monthly. We get paid integration fees. And then we have things like interchange, spread, miscellaneous fees like that.
So who do you think your largest competitor is? PayPal?
No.
Go ahead, Dave.
No, because at PayPal, think about it, Kevin. PayPal is not focusing on building another company. They're trying to eat the world themselves under whatever brand they own, right? And so we facilitate solutions, white label solutions for other companies that are trying to do what we do. And keep this in mind, if somebody tried to do what we do today, it would take them years because of the technology, because of the regulatory compliance elements. It is tremendously difficult. So right now, there's not really anyone who can facilitate, and certainly no one in the world that can facilitate that many countries with that many networks. We're the only one at this today.
In the UAE, is your license from the
Kevin.
Okay. In the UAE, is your license from the ADGM or from Dubai?
So because we're working with the bank is the one that has the legal authority to issue. We're not the issuer, right? We're working with the legal issuer.
Is that bank the FAB bank, FAB?
I'm not going to tell you here. I'll just tell you is it's legal, and it's profitable. That's the truth.
Okay. Well, I'm only asking because I recently got my citizenship. I'm an Emirati. I do a lot of work there in licensing, and I do a lot of service with them.
Kevin, we got to get you a card, man.
We can get you a card. We can get you a card with special benefits in UAE, and that's coming.
We could do the Mr. Wonderful card at a UAE and any other of the 74 countries you want to do.
Ian, stop sucking up. It's not going to work.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing ideas out. We're spitballing. You know, that's it.
No, I'm very intrigued. I'm very down the rabbit hole on this stuff, as you guys know. But I'm also very aware of the complexities of the regulator in this space, and so it's intriguing. Great presentation, guys. That's fantastic.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Ian. Thanks, Daniel. I have a feeling that one could have gone for about 20 more minutes if I didn't.
No, you have to be fair, Joanna. You have to be fair. The mix, this one and this, what number is this one? How many have we done now? So, Diana, do I have to make my decision now? I don't want to.
Let's just, before we announce the winner, as you're sort of mulling it over, I just want to remind everyone of what is at stake, just to, hype up the pressure a little bit more. So the winner is going to get $25,000 in cash, a one-on-one with StartEngine CEO Howard Marks, who is also the co-founder of Activision Games, and amazing services and prizes from our partners, Plug and Play, Indiegogo, DEEL, Forecastr, BENZINGA. Some of you guys may have tuned in. They do a sort of morning show before the pitch competitions where they interview all of the founders. So we really, really, really have had some amazing prizes. And Kevin, are you ready?
Yeah, I just want to correct something. Andrew Brown chatted me, and he says we are post-revenue 2.5 million. So that's much farther down the feeding chain than I thought. I probably made a mistake thinking he was pre-revenue. And a fascinating deal. I'm having a real hard time, Joanna. This one is a really tough one because there are at least 3 mega ideas here. I mean, these are kind of companies I invest in. It's really,
this is exactly, we talk about building a portfolio of at least 10 deals. This is exactly why. You usually don't have to just bet on one company, but this is
all of these came on. If all of these came on to StartEngine, I would think you'd buy them all because the outcomes are all extraordinary. What a great portfolio of companies. So in a way, you've curated a really, really interesting list. But okay, I'm having a hard time with this one. I'm going to go with Ian and Daniel on Unbanked because they have proven their model in a really interesting place, and they have significant revenues, but they are not the only great team of entrepreneurs on this contest. But if I had to put if I had to put $2 million to work, I'd probably put it in there right now. Not that the others aren't fantastic, but I'm sorry, those guys won. They won.
Okay, we have them here. Our $25,000 winners. What do you have to say?
Kevin, thank you, man. I appreciate it. Your words mean a lot. I really do believe we have something special here at Unbanked. I believe we've got the right mission, and I think we're executing. So just kind of have your vote of confidence and the kind words.
What took me over the edge is that I know the hell you've been through with regulators clearing that. I know exactly what that's like.
Yeah.
I have investments in so many companies that are regulated. I'm regulated and I deal with it every day. And I happen to believe that the only way this crypto is going to really work is if it gets regulated. So I'm working on the Hill with these bills right now. I'm a shareholder in FTX and Circle. You guys are, and I've heard of you before. I've heard of Unbanked, and I think I heard about it in Abu Dhabi actually. So that's the first time I heard your name. Anyways, congratulations. That's fantastic. To all the other.
Thank you.
And Kevin, no bullshit. We will make that wonderful Mr. Wonderful card happen if you want it. So
exactly.
As I've done with many other contests, I circle back. I'm always intrigued. I'm always looking for new opportunities. That's why I'm so happy to be part of the StartEngine thing. This thing is growing like a weed, and I'm a shareholder in it too. And and the reason it's growing is because it's working. Same as your story. Yeah. When it works, it works. It's that simple. But congrats, and I also want to congratulate all the other entrepreneurs because
Yes.
Son of a bitch, this was a tough one. This was a tough one. This was a tough one. Let's hear what the crowd says, Joanne.
I was gonna say, okay, so thank you, Ian and Daniel. The crowd, Kevin,